Hey, welcome back to the Doubletree Hotel in Evansville, Indiana. We're at the OVC Media Day, and we've been joined by the Western Illinois contention group. I don't know, again, bad words.
Squad.
Yeah, something like that. Coach Chad Boudreau. And then Ifiok Peter is with us as well, one of their players that people are really talking a lot about. First of all, Coach, this is the first time we've ever met. I can't believe I've never met you. Tell us a little bit, two kind of very different years, your first 2 years as a head coach there at WIU and in the league.
Well, 2 years at Western is a product of kind of our environment we're in right now. You're going to have turnover, you're going to have change, and it creates – we know where we stand at Western, so it makes it difficult to keep some guys. But in the case of, our first year, we had really good culture, and we had really good size. We were very physical, and I've spent a lot of time in the last, 8 months building the team back like that and getting bigger and getting stronger and getting more physical and trying to get that culture the way it was 2 years ago. 2 years ago, we were one game away from winning the conference at 13-5, and we had a great group of guys. The culture was good, and this group has that same feeling, and so I'm excited about it.
That's cool. So I did want to ask you, I'm a Missouri Valley Conference guy as well. Yeah. The website, we're on Valley Hoops Insider. We covered the two valleys.
Yep.
You've got 4 Missouri Valley refugees on the team this year. And each of those guys, I've seen them play a number of times. You got some quality guys in from that league.
Yeah, for sure. Off the court, incredible humans. On the court, very good basketball players. And the Missouri Valley has really elevated itself in the last 4 or 5 years. It's always been a great league, but with all the changes that's gone on, they've sustained that pretty well. So we can't compete with the transfer kids that are leaving at the higher level, and so I've had to look at different levels and look and kind of think outside the box in the recruiting side of it. Maybe I recruit a 4-man and turn them into a 2-man. Maybe I take a 3 that has good ball handling skills and is a good teammates leader and turn them into a 1. Like we've had to kind of think outside the box, and it's worked. And we did that a couple of years ago because we were preparing for the Summit League at the time. And you remember the Summit was big and was physical, and that's what I've tried to get back to, and they've done a good job of it.
Ifiok, why number 11?
It's actually a very special number to me. I was born on the 11th month of the year. I was born.
Me too.
Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, okay. I was born at 5:11 p.m. So, and the last letter of my name is actually the 11th letter in the alphabet. So it's a lot of stuff coming back to me. And then it's the first number I chose to play basketball. So I've always stuck with it.
I like it. Why Western Illinois? How did you end up here?
It's actually a very crazy story. So Booty actually recruited me out of high school. And when I tried to commit, another player ended up taking the last scholarship. So I had to settle for less for a little bit. But then Booty ended up finding me, and I found my way back home,
Yeah. Relationships are huge, aren't they, in every part of basketball?
They are, and I think right now with guys like E that's been in the program, that's a great kid, fits the same box that I've signed out with the other guys, is – some of the new guys we got are people maybe we've recruited in the past that we've known. Like there's guys on our roster right now, a whole bunch of them that were recruited in the past that we've seen, that I've seen in person. This is the first year in a long time as an assistant or head coach that I've seen every single guy but one on our roster play live in the last couple of years. I get to know them personally. And I think that's really important. I think that's hard to do in today's culture.
Yeah, today it's very difficult.
It's very difficult.
You talk to me about your relationship with Kyle Gerdeman. I know you guys go back.
Kyle's a really good friend of mine. There's in coaching, there's a lot of relationships where you're going to meet people in passing, and you're going to be friends, you're going to be comrades in that situation, and you'll never talk again. 30 years from now, Kyle and I will still be talking. We're good friends. He's a good person. He does a really good job. And I think Kyle at Lindenwood's in a similar boat as us at Western, where there's such a disparity now. At one time, like we were, I'll use the Summit as an example. They recruited off facilities and what they had, and all that's changed. And right now it's so much money involved. And I think Kyle's operating in the same hemisphere or boat that we are. And he's having to think outside the box. He's having to do some things because they have their shortcomings on that side as we do as well. And he's doing a really good job of it. It's not easy, and it's not easy. I think Kyle's doing a great job. It's not easy in those transition jobs. It's going from Division II to Division I. So hats off to him. And Amy, both those guys at Lindenwood are doing a great job. great job.
Yeah, I think Amy's going to be a superstar, actually.
She's a superstar. Yep.
She's amazing.
She's great.
Ifiok, tell me about the personality of this team, the makeup. The coach was talking about some of the togetherness, but talk about that, how you view it so far.
We gel very well together. Like, we're just a great group of guys. We always have fun, but when it's time to be serious, we're serious on the court. We're always competing. Like, every day is always a challenge. So I really take pride in that in practice, and I'm really happy with the group of guys we got.
And the style of play, when people are going to turn on Leathernecks, by the way, best logo in college basketball,
For sure.
the Leathernecks. What kind of style of play? What are they going to see in your team?
A lot of physicality, like even from the starting five all the way down to the bench depth. Like, we have a lot of physicality. We're going to wear you down, and I feel like we love to play fast. So it's going to be a lot of problems for the other teams.
A lot of problems.
Yeah.
I like that. Coach, when you think about your guys and you feel like you're rebuilding kind of what you had a couple of years ago, how are you so far in that process? Like, you've got June and all of that, and now we're into the real practices.
Well, we take a little different approach. One of it's the biggest side of that's economics, but we go 5 weeks in the summer. So when you're taking a whole brand new group and you bringing those guys together, I was in Indian Hills, I was at Southeastern, I was at Highland Community College. It has that JUCO feel.
You're an HGL guy.
Yeah, you're bringing all these guys in, and you got to. It's fast forward, but if you're recruiting the right players, basketball is basketball. And so some of the verbiage is different, but what we're asking them to do is the same things they were doing at NAI or Division II or in Division I the last couple of years. And so it's pretty seamless. And I think we've picked up on that. And to build off what he said is the practices it's the first time assistant or head coach I've been there that our practices are very, very intense all the time because we have so much good depth. Don't know who would be the starting five, don't know who the next, it's very competitive, and that's a good thing. So if injuries come up or things come up, like we had a couple injuries last year that just killed us early, and we could never recover from it. So we had guys playing out of position, playing too many minutes in roles that they probably weren't ready for. And now if that happens this year, there's going to be a next man up mentality, and that's been important. Like, I think too many times in this we recruit the top 2, 3, 4 guys. Well, if something happens to them, you're in trouble. And so we've tried to get where we're 11, 12, 13 deep, and that's where we're at right now.
Ifiok, you've got a lot of new players, and so honestly, most of the people watching this, they don't know who the Western Illinois players are yet, right? And the preseason poll has you guys down near the bottom because people don't know who you are either.
Yeah.
Tell me somebody on your roster that you're thinking, people are gonna remember him at the end of the year.
Besides
you.
Oh yeah, obviously me, but I feel like Antoine Macy, Isaiah Griffin, those are 2 guys that I can really notably off the top of my head really tell you that I feel like they're going to have a good spark on our team, and they're going to bring a lot of leadership to the group.
I thought Massey had such a good year last year at Southern. He's such a solid kind of guy. He's a fundamental guy.
Yeah, when he's played for great coaches and in junior college and at Southern, and he's a great kid, hard worker. He just fits the mold of everybody else on the team. What we're describing Antoine, but that same thing can be used to describe everybody else. And as far as, like, you brought up the polls, no one knows who anybody has. It's hard to do polls anyway, and we don't put any stock into that. I won't go back and say, okay, we're picked last. I think I told everybody in the summer we'd be picked last. And in hindsight, if everybody did their polls the way I do my polls, I'm going off, okay, who's got the most money?
Who has people coming back? Who has money?
I don't really care about who's got people coming back, because that can all change. If we finished second to last year, which we did, why do we want that many people back? You know what I mean?
Sure.
Definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. So we had to change things, and I think other people do too. And so it's hard to tell where people are going to land. But the easy way to do a poll is in this environment is, okay, these guys got the most money, so they have the highest probability of getting players, and you just work your way down. And if that's how you're going to do the poll, then Western Illinois is probably going to be picked last, which is fine. And that's the world we're in, and we love every second of it. And so we'll play out the season and see where we're at. We know it don't matter.
Tell me about your game. What are people going to see when they see you on the floor?
A lot of physicality, like I said before, and a lot of footwork and skill work in the post. Booty emphasizes feeding into the post a lot, so we play. That's a lot of our play style. So, yeah, that's a lot we're going to see. And then obviously I'm going to grow during the season, depending on the scouts. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of change, a lot of differences.
Is there a natural rival for Western in the OVC?
I don't think so.
I couldn't think of one. That's
No,
why
I
I'm
don't think
asking.
so. We're new to the league, and I mean, people would point to Eastern
Illinois, maybe, yeah.
but I love Marty to death and have nothing but respect for him. It's hard to get wrapped up, and I think the world of him, and he's doing a good job over there with Les as well. And so it's because every game matters. You can't put too much emphasis. You just can't put a ton of emphasis on one game or the highs and lows. You got to approach everything the same. And the OVC is going to be like a lot of leagues. It's going to be up in the air. We do the polls, and things can happen, things can change, and we'll see.
Appreciate your time today. Wish you guys the
thank
best
you
of
very
luck.
much. Good meeting you. Good meeting you.
Excellent getting to know you guys and meet you.
Thank you.
Have a great season.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
That's the Western Illinois group, and they are going to be much better this year. And, I don't know about, before we finish, I was telling Marty a minute ago, I'm a dime store expert. I know everything, right? I read online, I read the reports that people say about different players, and it's clear that your team's, at least from what I can read, going to be stronger, going to be better, going to be bigger. And so it is. Everything is just, here we go.
It's up in the air. And
That's
we won't, we'll start knowing more in the next couple of weeks as we play some of these scrimmages, or some of our close scrimmages. But we're excited about it. We're excited for Western Illinois basketball.
Should be a great year at Western Illinois. We're going to be back in just a minute with the Lindenwood head coach, his good friend Kyle Gerdeman. More from the OVC
He's
Media
at the
Day.
buffet right now.
Well,
He's wondering
he's
where
probably
Kyle
eating
Gerdeman's
too
at
much right
Yeah,
now,
he's at the
actually, Kyle
buffet.
Gerdeman. Thanks again. Appreciate it.